What's up, homies? Welcome back to the channel, and today is the official first video from my new series. Team v Team was an amazing series while it lasted, but with a wild gap in power between units, DPS and support alike, the next round will ultimately fall to a premium team. So here's how I intend to fix things. First and foremost, my Dahlia is E6 and is hereby tournament illegal. Additionally, all of my E2 characters and their premium teams will be placed into the same bracket with each other so that only two of them can move into the actual tournament. And that's another boon to my funny teams. Each time one of my E2 characters and their premium team wins a match, they will lose one of their teammates until just the DPS remains. The brackets of the 4 qualifiers will feature 8 teams, and the top 2 teams from each bracket will move on to the tournament proper. Once we move on to the tournament, it's no holds barred, and not just for the only teams I already have drafted. Of course, I'll still be pulling new characters during the length of this tournament, and at any point I can form a special team around those new characters and randomize who it is they'll face for a spot in the tournament. That way of entering the tournament will be possible for new characters up until the top 4. Once I have the top finalists selected, there will be no turning back. Team v Team is no more. This is Big Path Energy. I'm starting the brackets with what I'm dubbing the Block Amphoreus qualifier. These upcoming 8 teams are the ones I love making most of all for this series, and I want one of them to make it out as the first ever Big Path Energy champion. Now, these squads have a tough road ahead because all of these follow a specific theme and or their meta strength is not viable in most in-game content. So, to help them flourish and to get some solid content out of this, all of these teams will only be challenged in MLC 9. And just to make it abundantly clear, every character participating in this season of Big Path Energy has been built to competitive standards. Every unit in this contest has at least 134 speed and built for the roles they will be taking in each of their teams. Some units even have multiple builds at the ready. But no need to take my word for it, allow me to introduce the teams to you now. First up is a team inspired by one of the greatest events Honkai Star Rail has ever released, O'Malley. Sushan leads the team as a DPS, Bailu and Manga March running support, Guanifan, she just along for the vibes. Codename K and D is for all the children characters on my account. Yanqing and Yun Li will be jointly mowing down the enemies while Clara tanks from the back line. Bailu again running support to keep the babies breathing. The next team is F2P Dragons. This is where my scaly peeps reign supreme. Once again, Bailu is on life support, but she'll be joined by her seniors Slingshot and Dante. Together, they'll be providing cover for Imbiber Lune to drown people in his draconic liquids. Okay, so there's absolutely zero bias here, but this is probably the team I want most to make it out of the Block Amphoreus qualifier. For the furries features Fei Xiao as the general and main DPS. Cypher and Fugue will supply incredible debuffs to the enemies, all while Yukon grants her comrade incredible buffs to her follow-up attacks and ultimates. This team features my hyper carry Fugue build over her break build, utilizing 2-piece Sacerdos and 2-piece Messenger over 4-piece Iron Cavalry. Galaxy Dangers is my Galaxy Ranger theme team, and in the future will most likely see the addition of people to replace Aventurine and Headache. Ashvale, if he does turn out to be the leader of the Galaxy Rangers, and of course the maid girl with the machine gun will join this team, but time will tell on that front. For now, Rappa, Booth, Headache, and Aventurine will hold the fort down. Now this next team was on its way out the door. I still love Brownie and Yukong and Serval, but Ruame was holding it back. Thank goodness that Cypher had some serious issues with Mommy Aglaya, so sticking her on the team made too much sense and I had to give it another shot now. Serval will be leading this band of bad moms to victory if she can. But that is not it for the mothers of HSR. We've gone from people with mother issues to my mommies. IMO, these are the 4 baddest characters in the entire game. One with an asterisk because she's not in her best form 100% of the time, but its beauty cannot be denied. This team has a very bleak future in this tournament since all 4 of them are not meta compatible with the others at all, but it's not all about meta viability here. Sometimes a diamond in the rough can emerge in the unlikeliest of places. And the final team on this list is a testament to the death of F2P options. My first ever main team that I used in Honkai Star Rail isn't clearing anything above MLC 10. It's a sad fact that I've had to accept, but I still appreciate this team because I love all of these characters. Sela as a main DPS is definitely not impressive these days, but I use her anyway because you never forget your first. And who knows, if she ever gets buffs, her other team in the later qualifier may have a chance to move up. Brownie and Tingyu and Natasha are her partners from an ancient meta that may make history in this challenge. Let's watch and see how it shakes out. For each of the qualifiers, and by the way, if you haven't guessed yet, each of the qualifiers will be named after one of the planets: Block Amphoreus, Block Bellabog, Block Penacony, Block Cianjo. And maybe when I get to the actual top 8, I'll just name that the Planet Cadia games. You know what? For each of the qualifiers, I will use this tournament bracket generator to determine the fates of all of the teams because the wrong matchup can doom a team beyond belief. Let's see who's fighting who. Big Path Energy, Block Amphoreus. These are my tier 3 theme teams going head to head to see which two progress to the top 8. Note, my tier 3 has zero relation to Brightwind's tier list. I judge these teams based on their relative strength to one another while weighing the level of in-game they can reasonably defeat. My tiers range from tier 3 to tier 0. Tier 0 is where all of my most invested teams belong. I'm talking more than one E2 per team or an equivalent in cost value. For example, comparing my E2S1 Headache aka Acheron, E2S1 Sparkle, E1S0 Silverwolf, E0S0 Dante to my E2S1 Facial, E2S1 Topaz, E1S0 Venturine, and E0S0 Robin. Now, I do eventually plan to get a Venturine and Robin's light cones. But anyway, this is the Block Amphoreus squad. Let's actually make the competitors now. Okay, and here we go. We now have the teams officially all set. In the first round, we have For the Furries versus Codename K&D. We have O'Malley versus Mommy Issues. We have Mono Mommy and My First Mains. And then we have Galaxy Dangerous and F2P Dragons. Now, for anyone worried that my E6 Dahlia will be competing in this tournament, none of her teams that she'll be a part of will be break focused whatsoever. So she will not be aiding into the power level of Firefly, Booth, Rappa, Shui, or Sushong, or even Himiko. But we have our contest laid out for Block Amphoreus. I'm going to start recording those right now. So I want you guys to comment down below because the top 2 will not fight each other. The top 2 will move on to the actual top 8 tournament. I want you guys to tell me which 2 teams you think are going to make it. If both your teams make it to the top 8, I will gift you a supply class. If both of your teams make it to the top 8, I will gift you a supply class. I was about to say plastic. I can't do this.
One eternity later.
If both of your teams make it to the top 8, you will earn a supply pass. There it is, finally. Stay tuned for the actual tournament. I will not release any of the episodes until every single match is recorded and edited. So by the time you're seeing this, I will already know who the winners are, but I will not spoil it in any of the comments. You just have to stay tuned and hope your teams make it. Anyway, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Later, homies.